deceiving throws for mind control. Dum dum da dum da da dum da da dum da da dum dum da dum. Da dum dum da dum. It's that bad.
This is mission work from, like, you guys shouldn't be here. It's like, I went here volunteer. I Rip Van Winkled myself. I saw too many commercials, said I don't want to grow up. So I was like, I can pull that off.
No, I like what you're doing, and I think you're the right guy to do it. It's really cool. I'm glad
That's a heck of an endorsement. Thank you.
The gesture is both mocking the king and legitimizing the king at the same time, right? He's helping the king to avoid the problem of tyranny with the king thinking that he's God and has no faults. And so he'll make sure we all know that the king's got everything under that robe that we do, right? It's like he's as messy as all of us, right? So he's gonna try to do that, but he's ultimately doing to serve the kingdom, right, and not to destroy it. So maybe that's it. But I don't know for the monetization part. I don't know. But
yeah, the king usually pays him, right?
That's right. That's a problem.
It's gonna be pretty hard to beat VR. And I think your best bet is paintball for Jesus. And so you should find a local church, give them some money and say, I want to support your paintball team. And until they figure out what to do with all that money, you've done the best you can. Also, I have a Patreon. Pythagoras.
Yes. What do I think of him?
Why is he not included? Does he have a secret?
I am the bread of life.
The bread of life. That's what it's called. See, to me, that happened in that video you recorded. Like your face got really irritated that you got a loaf of it, but like that you were able to like go help an actual human being in their actual real life. That, to me, it just struck me as the bread of life.
I'm trying to figure out who knocked and why at that moment.
That's not even real.
It's the same as customer service,
right?
But it's still the giant wheel that's running over everything.
Right.
It's like everybody's faking it, but it's still crushing everything.
Yeah. That's not even.
I'm a Jesus fan. We'll say that.
Okay. Yeah, you were a follower of Jesus.
I can't follow. I can't fast.
So you fan? You sit in the stands and cheer?
I see where he's coming from.
You're right. It's apparently obviously real too. I don't know.
To anybody who can't bank anymore, it's very, very, very real.
Right. Yeah. You know, the Canadian trucker thing really hit me hard. You know, I'm not Canadian. I'm not a trucker.
But I know what a precedential legal system is.
Yeah. Right. You know, and you're right. It's apparently obviously real too. I don't know.
To anybody who can't bank anymore, it's very, very, very real. Right. But verily, and seek and ye shall find. You wanted a reenchantment of you. You wanted a recession of modernity with the tufa formations of magic and the spiritual plane to exist again in your realities. My personal interest leans toward Tai Chi first.
Right. So is this something you're doing?
No, my interest leans towards. Oh, hi. This is the Church for Charlie 9/11/2025 stream from Grimgriz. Advanced materials on the thumbnail. I'm Grimgriz, and there's certain days you don't say it. I want, since this is such a sensitive issue, I'm going to go ahead and deliver on the title before we even get to the mind control savings throws you're here for. That puts you at a slight feral disadvantage, according to Skankenstein. You can ask Scott and Neil, or even Zachary Vineyard. Hello there, Joy, and Matthew Fealty invoking the channel member VNA Bubble, which is not even in this branding I've loaded tonight. That's convenient. See, I got there's a bunch of different tabs in StreamYards, and some of them don't have this, but it's there now. Thank you, Matt. Yeah, there are certain days you don't say it. Okay. But as you can see, therefore, the title of this stream has been Church for Charlie, and the reasoning behind that is because there's been a recent political violence issue in our nation, and I am a self-proclaimed synchrony harmonicist, as you can see for here over on my X page there. You see how it says that right there after my title? See, part of that is because I have this harmonica that says that's what I am, and sometimes I blow it. And so there's that way of synchronizing harmony, but there are other ways of synchronizing harmony. And as you can see here, I have paid the ransom, but they have yet to return my magic blue check mark to me. However, this is where I'm bringing you today. And in what may be, here, let's make it big, shall we? In what may be my first public prescription as a synchrony harmonicist, I hereby say unto you, the most efficacious way to honor Charlie Kirk is to go to church this Sunday. And if that's unusual or unprecedented for you, I recommend the one nearest to your home. And you see, there's a multitude of reasons for these. But the first is, honestly and most sincerely, I think if you were to ask the man how we could honor your life, sir, now that you've lost it, his answer would probably be, go to church. However, the reason, see, I'm trying to, synchrony kind of means at the same time. And we know from Dr. Vervaeke that what happens is small networks achieve this synchrony moment, and then they peak, and it's what brings the system online, sort of. And so as such, I think the timing thing we have now is we have all of these emotional people who've witnessed his blood shoot in the air, who have emotions to deal with about this, and some of those people are having violent emotions. But I think though, given the nature of the man, that the most proper way to honor his life is to go to church, and that is the forces behind the action would be the outcome they least wanted by performing the action. And so Church for Charlie is that the stream title, what I think you should do, and my recommendation for honoring the life of the Charlie Kirk. Blue church card of the show is the 8 of diamonds. And then, you get savings throws versus mind control. You're swimming in it, don't you know? Here on the Grim Grizz stream, you have an opportunity to resist it. And I strongly recommend you make this particular stream's savings throws, because as I have warned you on the thumbnail, we'll be going over some advanced materials this evening, for which are the more extreme measures of mind control. If you'd like to take half damage rather than full damage, you need to make a choice between survival, social, wisdom, or heart as how you will resist the savings throw. I roll a die 10 or higher. Half damage. Bonuses can apply. They can apply. Survival, social, wisdom, or heart. Choose. Woo! Survivalist, nat 20 for you. You're not only taking half damage, you get +3 to next stream saves. Socialist, squeaking by with the number of transformation, 11 for you. Lovers of wisdom, at a disadvantage because you only have a 6. Hope you get your bonuses in. Heart, folks, prime 17, half damage for you. Half damage for you. And for the Indigo kids, prime 19. You'll be taking half damage as well. Congratulations.
Remember, embody, there is no agency. We want what's best for you.
But before we get into the advanced materials, there is something going on in the corner that's got all of the Orthodox, all of Twitter. Let's see what that is.
Christian.
Boris and Gleb are the first 2 Russian Orthodox saints who quite literally turned the other cheek and got killed by their brother. And their feast day is my birthday. That's why I'm a little worried about Richard Roll, and he's going to hear this, and he's just going to think, it's happening! Vanderclay's becoming Orthodox! Don't hold your breath.
The way that Christian
Or flipping a light switch, because most of the people who are asking serious questions about liberalism, and there are serious questions to ask about liberalism, enjoy its fruits. And it's nearly incomprehensible to imagine a world not built on it, apart from, I don't think you could even actually divide the nations between these imagined camps, because most of the differences are just this little film on the surface.
Just a little film. That was the 33rd minute, Neil. Not the one that was the clip. Meanwhile.
Oh shoot, where was I going with this? Attention.
There is a thing called Southeastuary, which is really difficult to say in case you haven't noticed. And in case you haven't noticed, I have begun my grift for the ticket to said Southeastuary over there in the Hive Mind chat, just on the other side of this. It's past there.
As you can see, it's an event in Lake Junealaska, North Carolina, on October 17th and 18th, with guest speakers that keep changing, but now include Pastor Paul Vanderglay, Clay, Esther Meek, Jordan Wood, Michael Martin, Jordan Hall, J.D. Lionard, Nate Heil, Sherry Sutter Joseph, and the mysterious and elusive John Van Donk for only what is it there? $266.49 with the service fee. You can come, and that includes lunch if you buy the ticket by October 1st. If you don't and you still go, I don't know if you're gonna starve or what the deal is. But so I've begun my grifting for that ticket. You might notice when you click on the Ko-fi Gold that the amount there is higher than the 266.49 ticket price. And that's because I grift for a living here, and I still have the for a living part has been added to the ticket price. Cypress deck card of the show is the 9. The 9 of diamonds.
Are you sick and tired of being asked about the TLC? When you look at this corner, do you not even think that it's a thing? Well, if you're like me, raise your hand. Because I got what you need. You need Telos tea. That's right. Grab yourself a nice hot cup of Telos tea. Now, Telos tea. It's not a thing.
That it's a very nice deck of cards. And yes, please buy me a sandwich. Those are delicious. What else? You were gonna do this one.
What's reality? I don't know. When my bird was looking at my computer monitor, I thought, that bird has no idea what he's looking at.
Did you know that this branding is what we call epistemic humility? It promotes epistemic humility.
What's reality? I don't know. When my bird was looking at my computer monitor, I thought, that bird has no idea what he's looking at. And yet, what does the bird do? Does he panic? No, he can't really panic. He just does the best he can. Is he able to live in a world where he's so ignorant? Well, he doesn't really have a choice. The bird's okay, even though he doesn't understand the world. You're that bird looking at the monitor, and you're thinking to yourself, I can figure this out. Maybe you have some bird ideas.
Do you have some bird ideas? Do you have, yes, humoristic episteme, if you'd like. Now let's get to some of the advanced materials. Yeah, sure. First we have up there is oh look, this is the proof we've used to get ourselves on the Heavy Things Lightly stream. See, he had our friend TJ Melky on, who said this nonsense.
Graham will hop on the.
I'm going to have him on the podcast.
And whatever creature inside the mind of John hears spouted that off.
Every now and then, Griswold Graham will hop on the.
I'm going to have him on the podcast soon.
And yeah,
and that was completely not true at the time, but is now true. I'll be recording with him on Tuesday, now that my voice has returned, and there is much celebration. Meanwhile, in the advanced material portion of the clips, I watch things like this Sean Ryan show on occasion.
All I know is what.
From which I've made this clip I called Man in the Box. Man in the Box. What's it about?
And all I know is what the head of the IRS, the nonprofit sector, told me. And so I'm like, here's the history of it. And they go, okay, good, but it wasn't IRS that created that. Who was it? The CIA. And I said, why would they do that? And they go, well, and this individual was a Christian. They go, Christianity is dangerous. Yes. And I said, yes. And they go, Islam is dangerous. Yes. And I said, yes. And so they go, why not put everything into a box that you can control?
And that box of control is based on tax exemptions.
The carrot that the government uses to get religion into that box is tax exemption. So you sell your soul for 30% to play by these 14 rules. And you don't even have to abide by all the rules, just a handful of them. So here's what's funny. You know what else is a church? The Hell's Angels.
What?
Yeah, they're registered as a church.
So this interesting fellow is going after all of the IRS corruption. And he's like, the church is the people in the body of Christ, not the building and the business infrastructure, which operates in this weird black and dark area because of all the IRS loopholes and such. And that I don't see. I like him because, like, propositionally, his Christianity is quite in line with my own. But there's something I didn't like about him, and maybe that's because he's selling an app at part of the show. I don't know. And as a matter of correct, oh wow, here's in Dreer. We're in the same estuary group. That's fascinating. That's fascinating. Yes, he does look like Gray, doesn't he? And then we had this part where there was something wrong in the chat. Here it was. All kinds of new branding. No, this is all ancient branding that I haven't cycled back through. Hardly anybody makes branding anymore. This show is on its last legs. Here's the terrifying one.
The chase is on. Excitement is at a whole new level when the puppets start chasing you. Stay on your toes, because if they catch you, you might just become one of them forever. Frozen in puppet glory, living an eternal life of strings and wooden whimsy. It's a transformation like no other, but don't let that frighten you. It's all in the spirit of fun.
Oh my word, why does this feel so poignant at this moment? Oh gosh. I love the fact that they've put this all framed around somebody watching TV. Can make your brain go dead. That's why you should watch more YouTube. Edutainment, that's the way to go.
To me, it seems that there must be something on the other side. We are all told that truth is merely a conclusion that can reliably be derived from some observable phenomenon. We forget that truth is a tool. It is the hook upon which we hang our deeds and the bed from which we rise each day. To assume that death is the end is to assume that our being extends no further than the physical substrate that carries us. This assumption does not account for the way in which we experience being alive, nor does it sit comfortably aside the fact that we are not yet able to comprehend the way in which our being manifests itself from the flesh and bone that binds us. I believe that those gaps in our understanding are still wide enough to cast doubt on such conclusions. I believe that those gaps are yet wide enough for our souls to fit through and drift onwards into some new realm.
What? What a horrifying... I had no idea. If only someone had warned me. Someone had warned me, Abe. And now, what is probably another CIA podcast, we bring you the further advanced materials. As you see, I recently imbibed and watched this podcast. I Came with Fire. Where he's talking about it reminded me of how when I play top-down simulation combat games like StarCraft, you make these different structures that allow you to make different units. And what this man was speaking of reminded me verily of that. And then he mentioned some other fun things we'll go over right after this Jux deck card of the show, which was the six of spades. And here then, therefore, is the first clip I called Training Units.
They don't even have to know.
This guy also looks like he might be one of Chester Bennington's siblings.
Passively, they don't even have to know the whole recipe for mind control, but they're making sure that these kids are in an abusive environment passively. Okay. The foster networks, these people might not know, like they might not be like, oh, the government actually gave us this information to do this part for them. Hell no, they pass the information around to pedophile networks just enough for spin programming, so the pedophiles can fucking spin children around without damaging them and start making their little sex slave. And guess what, that aspect makes the sex slaves. Well, guess what, from the cartel basically makes some of the people that are better soldiers. Big surprise, right? You have different types of factories to different types of proxies, and it's self-replicating machines that are layered off plausible deniability, right? And then you obviously have people handling them, and that's where it gets branched to where they have some people on these deep black, human, that's clandestine services. And that's why that area is so infiltrated by the globalists and tied up with all these orders, because that's really where the power is. Okay.
Okay. So the baseline being that, like, what you're looking for in mind control people is the ability to disassociate, and then the separate disassociated persona is the one you get to do fun stuff with, and then the other one exists traumatically outside of that one. And so the notion here being that there's a great number of people who are left made disassociative, susceptible to disassociation, who are then found and discovered through fun programs like, hey, you're going too fast. Slow it down. Like this part.
Basically more, there's different types of intelligence, and through the testing system they know basically more or less if a kid has been through this stuff. Like they're able to passively test this. Now when it goes to gate, it's not just gate, it's the regional equivalent. I mean, they have
now when he says gate, the word he's standing for is the gifted and talented education programs that some of us remember from our schooling back when they asked us what we wanted to do for a living rather than who was allowed to have sex with us. Because up until recently, it was necessary for the powers that be to raise labor on human labor farms. And so they were like, what do you want to be when you grow up? But now that we have robots and whatnot, we don't need so much of the human labor. So what non-productive sexual relationship would you like to do instead, as we're lowering the population? But these are the old school programs where he's suggesting that those that were disassociatively capable could be identified and further piped into the higher layers of the training systems.
a lot of like sub ones, that are different names, but just whatever it is, Gifted and Talented Education Act, right? That was enabled by the National Defense Education Act. Okay. And that essentially gets all the funding. What really selects these kids is Project Talent and subsidiaries. Okay. So Talent is a nationwide thing. This is all made by, military psychologists that used to select combat fighter pilots, right? So they industrialized this coming off MK Ultra. This was directly a part of MK Ultra. Jacob Javits was one of the high up people in MK Ultra, and the only Gifted and Talented Actual Education Act is Jacob Javits Gifted and Talented Education Act. So you got the MK Ultra guy that's doing that provides the funding, and that's the one that's most is I think covered in over 37 states. But there's something in every state.
And so the point of me calling this particular stream Advanced Materials and then including clips like that is to remind you that this is a PvP server. You might very well have been born on a labor farm, and these people that have been running the system have been doing so for thousands of years. And the thing of it is, you weren't initiated. You were most likely not initiated into any form of adulthood, and perhaps have been the victim of an extended adolescence destabilizing ray. as part of the normalization ray of the screen times and such. But we are in it together. We are in it together. So there's that.
In all our searching, the only thing we found that makes the emptiness bearable is each other.
And there's the Church for Charlie Advanced Materials stream. I hope you all have a lovely evening.